My name is Nikolaj Petersen. I'm the owner of 8 different ecom brands, which collectively amount to 8 figures. I run this YouTube channel and SWE, an e-commerce mentorship program, all while traveling the world and making time for my family, friends and girlfriend. As you can imagine, my life gets pretty busy and I cannot afford to be unproductive. So over the past few years, I've built habits and routines that allow me to stay focused and get the most out of every single day. In this video, I'll be sharing the structure I use daily to be as productive as humanly possible. And in 2023, this is crucial if you want to succeed. People are more unproductive than ever before. So if you can apply these 3 steps, you will get ahead. So I've broken them down into a few different categories. 1, mental and physical health. 2, finding your purpose. And then 3, habits. Before I break down my structure, I want to emphasize that finding your productive self is a highly subjective process. And so just because a particular habit or routine works for me doesn't mean that it will necessarily work for you. So use this advice I'm about to give you as pointers, things to try out, and if it works for you, then that's great. If not, then try something else until you find something that does work. With that said though, this first point is pretty much a non-negotiable when it comes to productivity and a healthy life in general. I know you've probably heard this countless times before, but you need to optimize your sleeping habits. If you aren't actively working on improving your sleep or aware of how crucial it is for you, then you're missing out. Countless studies show that having a healthy sleep schedule is crucial. And I repeat, crucial to your physical and mental health. But how do you obtain a healthy sleep schedule? The most important thing when it comes to sleep is consistency. You have to keep a consistent sleeping pattern where you go to bed and wake up at around the same time every single day. One thing that has helped me tremendously with this is this ring. I only use it when I'm sleeping. They're not sponsoring me, by the way. I just really like the product. You wear it when you sleep and then it tracks your sleep cycles, your sleep quality and the duration of your sleep. Just being honest, I'm a data guy, so being able to see the numbers and then optimizing them in different ways has helped me a lot. So doing things like sleeping in a completely dark room is great. Some people also like to follow the 3-2-1 rule, where you don't eat or drink 3 hours before bed, you stop working 2 hours before bed, and no artificial lights 1 hour before bed. I don't follow it religiously, but just being mindful of not eating, working, and avoiding artificial lights close to bedtime is beneficial. I can see a direct correlation between it and my sleep quality. Another thing that's crucial, both for your sleep quality and for building your own personal discipline, is, well, not snoozing. And I know that we all know the feeling of waking up and still feeling tired, but when you snooze, you let your sleep schedule slip and you compromise on the agreement you made with yourself the night before to wake up at a specific time, and that damages your discipline. How can you move forward in any other aspect of life if you can't abide by a simple agreement that you've made with yourself? Another thing that heavily impacts your physical and mental health is exercise. And once again, you've probably heard this countless times, but there's a reason for that. Because on top of it being healthy for you physically and mentally, working out is also one of, if not the best thing you can do to build discipline. And in life, in business, if you need to grow, you need a solid foundation from which you can build upon, and you build upon it by using your discipline to take incremental steps in the right direction. More so, it helps you build a growth mindset. It gives you a mental break during the day, which I love, and it has so many benefits. So there is really no reason not to do it, at least if you are desperate for success. The last pillar of your mental and physical health is obviously your diet. Many people swear by a specific diet, but I don't really think there is one diet that's perfect for everyone. I once again try to encourage you to try out different ones, see what works for you. Pay close attention to what it feels like in your body when you consume certain foods. One rule of thumb though is just try to stay away from too many processed foods and stick to one ingredient whole foods. That's at least what I'm doing, and it makes me feel so much more energized and I can stay focused for way longer. Something that my students in my mentorship course often ask me is, well, Nikolai, how do you stay motivated? And to that I always say, well, what is your goal? What is your purpose? Finding your purpose here and defining your clear goal is essential to staying productive, because you will inevitably encounter days where you ask yourself, why the hell am I doing this? And if you can't answer that question, you'll not get very far. Initially, all I wanted was to make some money and to get rich. But once you encounter those challenges down the road, then you suddenly find out that you need something much larger, a larger purpose in life. Otherwise, it simply doesn't make sense to go through, well, that much pain and effort just to get rich. Something I always did before finding any success was I would sit down, close my eyes, and then visualize my future. And I would do it very visually, every single detail. I would imagine sitting my parents down and telling them that I bought them a house, and I would visualize it in excruciating details. I saw the exact location in my mind, the room with all of its features and everything, and I knew exactly what I would say. And in general, with any other parts of life, I visualize my future all the time, and I still do it often. It has almost become an obsession to me. So I strongly advise you to try and do the same. Pause the video right now and sit back in your chair and close your eyes, and then just start visualizing your dream. What does your life look like in 5-10 years into the future? Where are you living? How do the people closest to you feel? Can you help them financially perhaps? And I promise you, if you keep doing this visualization every single day, at some point it will stop being a question of if it will happen, and then simply start being a question of when it will happen. Finally, I want to talk about habits. Humans are habitual creatures, and it's actually quite easy for us to develop new habits. And so what I want you to do is become aware of your habit, because becoming aware of what you're doing on a daily basis is the very first step to then improve upon it. Maybe just write them down, or just think about what habits make up your daily routine, and be honest with yourself here. Are you looking at your phone when you should be working? Are you drinking or smoking too much? Are you skipping the gym, or do you have bad habits before going to bed, etc., etc.? First step to replacing bad habits is being conscious of them. And so the key to replacing bad habits with the good ones is sticking to the new good habit for at least 3 months, and then it will become the new norm for you. So that's the difficult task here. How do we stick to a certain habit for 3 months? Because after those 3 months, it'll come all natural to you. A technique I've used to do this a lot easier is called habit stacking. Habit stacking is when you have an old habit, like perhaps working out, and then you connect a new positive habit to that old habit, like listening to an educational podcast while you're working out. This way you can so easily implement new habits and good features without doing much to your daily existing routine. And by doing so, you can then slowly stack new habits on top of the old ones, and then in the long run build a great daily routine that just comes so natural to you. So if you're interested in more about my daily productivity setup, the softwares I use, or anything like that, well, then leave a comment, and then maybe I can make a future video going into further detail. Otherwise, I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you very soon.